Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. How are you doing today? Hey, I want to just take a minute and, man, a little bit disturbed right now. Um, I'm going to say this as politely as I can because I'm having a really hard time right now just containing my frustration, for lack of a better term. I just heard from some sources that are highly credible that we are now looking at the possibility of having to mask up and endure these COVID lockdowns again in 2020, end of 2023, starting in September of 2023, moving on into December. They say by December, the TSA will have instituted full-blown protocols that you won't be able to fly without masks. You're going to have start having churches shut down. Listen, here's where I'm at. If you're stupid enough to believe this nonsense again, after all of the people who have now died as a result of taking these vaccines because of myocarditis and all the other stuff that they didn't want to tell you about, how ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine were really effective in Mexico and all these other nations, but somehow they just didn't work in America. If this is where we're at, and we are stupid enough to bend our knees to this nonsense again, we deserve as Americans whatever we get. And just in case no one has opened their eyes and truly seen it yet, we are not fighting the Democrat Party right now. We are fighting alleged, confessed Marxists who are in the upper echelon of our government, that are in these incredibly incestuous relationships among the hierarchy, that you only get these positions of power if you have the right last name, or if you buy into the same the same nonsense they're selling. That's the only way you get promoted. And what Donald Trump did was put a big thumb in their eye by being an outsider that got on the inside, because Americans stood up and said, we're not having it. What was really amazing is they sold Donald Trump as this racist, which is incredibly ridiculous, as he was the one who funded Jesse Jackson's campaign back in the early 2000s. There have been countless men and women that have stood up and said, well, Donald Trump offered me funding when banks wouldn't give me funding. And Judge Joe Brown actually said that Donald Trump offered funding to a young black man that he had heard of, that when it came time to pay Donald Trump back, the man took him the money, handed him the check. Donald Trump tore up the check and said, thank you for paying me back. Now go run your business. Guys, it's stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, that the man's racist. But there are people that cling to it just because they're ridiculous, because they want something to complain about. What's really crazy is these same people love the man until 2016, until he ran for office and actually won. Then all of a sudden, all these people that loved him hated him. Why? Why would they hate him just because he won the presidency? You know why? Why is because the Democrats went stupid and got really offended because they are so out of touch with blue-collar America. They're so out of touch with men and women that are actually working in this country, that Donald Trump has the ear of those people, because not just he's saying the right things, but because he gets in office and then everything he said he does. And Democrats are going, well, but he didn't get it all done. He didn't get it all done. Well, no, you spent 4 years fighting him tooth and nail, so he couldn't get it all done. And then you're blaming him, well, you didn't get it done. Oh, good. These people drive me nuts. Listen. We cannot be sheep anymore that stand back and silently follow this government into hell, because that's where it's taking us if we allow it. If we let this happen, we deserve. Listen, we've got all the tools necessary to uproot this government. We have it all. We have the manpower. We have the elections. We have all the tools necessary at our disposal that about 30 million of us could really change the flow by creating a new party, if we need to, by kicking some people out of office, by voting in good people in office. That really needs to happen in all levels of government, not just the higher echelons, not just the senates and representatives, but even down to the local levels. We got to start voting these fools out of office and putting people that are responsible men and women, and not just people that come and say, hey, we're responsible men and women, but people that actually have a track record of knowing, doing, saying, behaving the right way. Men and women who respect our Constitution. Men and women who want a First Amendment and a Second Amendment that supports and supplies the backup for all the rest of the amendments. I've had it. I've had it, America. I've had it. I'm at the end of tolerating all this nonsense. And listen, they can file all these indictments, do all this bullshit they want to do. Forgive my French. They can pull all the stunts they want to pull, but at the end of the day, it's you and I that are responsible for doing the right thing and putting the man in office that's going to shut all this nonsense down and get us out of danger of becoming a communist country. Whew. Man, I'm glad I don't drink no more. Woo! Listen, I got to go spend some time with the Lord. But I love you guys. Listen, comment back. Let me know how you feel. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.